Lock and Love Salon, conveniently located at 8117 Liberty Road, Windsor Mills, Maryland. Start your lock journey today. Lock and Love's professional services and artistic designs will keep you blazing in the hottest trends while maintaining and protecting your hair. Honey, Lock and Love is an experience. Once you try Lock and Love Salon, you won't try anyone else. Lock and Love offers starter and maintenance locks, fox locks, detox, shampooing and conditioning, lock treatment, lock extension, coloring, and much more. Sorry, but Lock and Love doesn't accept walk-ins. What are you waiting for? Call 410-970-3791 to set up your appointment today. T.R.V.I.A's Inspirational Radio would like to inform you that the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in the following show are solely the sentiments of the participants of the show. T.R.V.I.A's Inspirational Radio Network is not responsible for content. As always, thanks for watching and enjoy the show.
Hey, it is your girl once again this fine June, the first Wednesday of the month, June the 9th, 2023, a day that we have never seen before. And we are so grateful that we woke up this morning in our right mind to do the very thing that we was called to do. We are so grateful. It's your girl again. If we're not pushing forward, we moving backwards. Say it out loud. For whatever. Backwards never. Yes, it's me again with two special women. You know how we do. We just gonna sit back and have a conversation. I like for the women that come on to introduce themselves because I feel like I can't say enough and I can't explain enough to the people that God has allowed me to speak with on this platform to share their journey. So without further ado, we just gonna have a conversation. And so I'm just gonna ask that, Sade, can you introduce yourself and tell the people just a little bit about you? Not everything. Don't take all my questions away.
Hello, everybody. I am Sade. I'm the personal success coach with Pivot. I work one-on-one with the ladies to help them on their personal goals, encourage them, and just help them discover themselves more and more. So,
Okay.
Hello, I am Keena Moody, the career coach. I'm also a Pivot alumni. And I am the career coach. I work with Mr. Anthony in the workforce development, and I work on with the ladies doing one-on-one workforce development and helping them choose a job that they truly desire for themselves. So.
Wow. So you are a direct connection to the women who participate in Pivot in the workforce.
Yes.
You are a direct connection. That's what's up. That's a big deal. And Sade, you are in the middle. Before they can get there, they got to go through, to do whatever it is that you do, whatever kind of conversations y'all have, whatever tools that you extend, prepares them for that. If That's what's up. So let's get into the thick of things because, as you know, our desire is to reach all those that are receptive, to moving forward, to gaining something better than what they had or greater, because there's always room for growth. So I'm going to start with Keena as what as an alumni. So let's talk a little bit before the alumni. What was your Pivot experience like?
It was, I'll say, when I first found out about Pivot, I found out about it through Instagram. I was having a hard time, a lot of, hardships that was going on in my life. and I couldn't get a job for about 2 years. So I thought that, I just was going to get job placement when I were there. I wasn't thinking about, the personal development and things like that. So when I started, I don't know, it just went into a lot of me digging into my trauma and me having to face those things when I was in Pivot. And it was hard to do a lot of the tasks that I was given, or like I said, I always told them to make me feel uncomfortable and to challenge me. So that pressure was really put onto me, especially right now, me being able to speak. If I didn't have Pivot, I probably would not be able to be on here right now and speak this comfortable that I am. And I was given a lot of opportunities doing group and things like that to practice those type of things. So what I would say, me working here now, I didn't, the things that the ladies are getting now, I didn't have any of those things. Like I had a stipend and a Nutri-Grain bar. The ladies now, they're getting a whole plethora of resources, and it's beautiful to see, how much Pivot has grown since I've been there. So it's a whole bunch of change. But at the end of the day, even though I didn't have all of those resources and things like that, I still push myself to get where I am today. So.
And so, as an alumni, what are some of the things that do you still? So, do you function as an alumni? Is it hard to separate the two, being an alumni and then work being an employee?
Um, I wouldn't really say so. I like the events. I still have to come to alumni events. Pivot still have alumni events, and I want to say that too. When I was in Pivot, I thought that once I was done, it was done. I didn't know that I would have you guys still contacting me and checking up on me here and there to see how things are going, and that's how I'm working here now too. From you guys checking up on me. You guys knew that I didn't want to work the job that I was working for anymore. But I will say it's okay me balancing being an alumni because I get to get benefits too, and I'm happy that alumni and alumni that was in previous cohorts. We didn't have anything in the beginning, but we are starting to get resources and benefits. So I'm excited about that. But I still was going to alumni events and stuff without even having those things because I'm happy for whatever Pivot has done for me, and I still was getting help afterwards. So
What's amazing is I'm thinking. So let me brag a little bit. Who was your personal success coach?
yeah.
Oh, it just warms my heart. But to think about, like, really, to think about how you first started. And so we're going back to your Pivot experience, how you had a lot to say, but you wouldn't say anything.
Yeah, you used to call me the quiet storm.
Because then when you spoke, it was like, oh my goodness. And so even today, just to hear you articulate yourself and to talk about your experience, like I'm like smiling on the inside because I remember when. And so it's just a testament of when you put in the work, like it really does happen.
Thank you.
And then you look back like, wow, I really did come from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then like you also told me, I didn't when I this stuck with me in my mind. You told me, I need to share because sometimes it might help someone else, and I didn't know that it can help that person. So I do, I used to think that what I had to share wasn't really that important, or nobody would look at it in that type of light. So that stuck with me. I always have to remember that I might have something to say that someone needs to hear. So.
Yes, always remember it can be 1,000 people that is before you. If one person gets it, that is enough. Because out of all them 1,000 people, you were assigned to that one person and they got it. So, and this is, just my little ism that now is we're looking for quality. We ain't chasing quantity. We're looking for quality. And we're looking for quality because we are quality and we produce quality work. And so we don't want to, I admire how one can look at their beginnings, their different beginnings, and then look at the nouns. Like that is amazing coming from just sitting there. And then now it's like, here I am. I'm still a work in progress, but here I am. Like I'm becoming that person, that woman. I'm becoming courageous. I'm becoming brave. Why? Because I want other young women to be brave. I want other young women to be courageous. That's a big deal. And somebody today or tomorrow or whenever will listen to you, they will hear this and they too will be inspired. Understand that. So I'm not going to pick on you. I'm going to stop picking on you for a minute.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Makai.
So, no, I'll be back to you. I want you to breathe a little bit.
Okay.
So, Sade, tell us a little bit about your pivot experience as a personal success coach.
I can say my pivot experience has been very transformative for me. I did not expect it to be. I didn't expect it to affect me personally, but being able to pour into the ladies and get to know them and then watch them change, like it was just so inspiring. And I see a lot about. I see a lot in myself. I mean, I see a lot in the ladies that I see in myself. And so oftentimes when I'm coaching them, it's like I'm coaching that part of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the things that we coach about, I could be going through personally. And so
Mm-hmm.
I'm encouraging myself as I'm encouraging them. And it's really an exchange. It's like it comes back full circle. When I pour into them, they pour back into me. And I
Mm-hmm.
learn a lot from these ladies too. It's not like I know it all. I'm perfect because I'm not. And I don't know. It's just been a beautiful exchange and then just a beautiful experience to see like when a person first comes in to when they graduate. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, wow, like you can physically see like they show up different, they talk different, their countenance is different. I feel energy, so I can feel if their energy shifts. Like it's just, and to be able to say like, wow, I was a part of that person's transformation. It's like it's just been really, it's been really impactful, and I'm just grateful. I'm very grateful.
So, aside from that, personally, what is one of your takeaways? What is one of the greatest lessons that you learned for yourself?
I would say, and I actually learned this lesson recently, is that the more I give of myself, and you said this to me, it's so funny. The more I give of myself, the more I allow others or give others permission to be themselves and to give of themselves. And for so long, I was hiding. I was definitely hiding. Not because I was trying to hide anything, but because I just didn't have confidence. Like I didn't have confidence. I was scared to like be free and open up and like be the person that I am. And I gave myself like a goal to myself that I was like, I'm gonna open up more. I'm gonna share more. I'm gonna like share more of myself. And not only did that help me become more free, but I can see that it was giving other people permission to be free too. So that's what I learned.
Wow, that's powerful. I don't even know if I want to touch that. That's powerful. That is a great lesson. A lesson that many of us, if we be honest, have learned, throughout life, throughout this particular process. Because if you're not learning, you're not growing. And so I know on behalf of the rest of the team, um, I know that I can say, and everybody will agree, that we appreciate, you to showing up, and willing to do the work with the women you serve. So they're not working by themselves. If I'm wrong, you can correct me, but this is what I'm hearing from the both of you. So I'll go back to Keena, and Keena, you can speak more about it first to let me know if I'm hitting in the right direction or not. it just sounds as if the tools that you learned, Keena, throughout your pivot experience, you want other people to get it. And so you are willing to be unselfish and give what was given to you. Talk a little bit about that if I'm in the right direction.
Um, the biggest thing that I took out of pivot that I was going through was choosing for myself and setting boundaries. Those having those labels and expectations always, weighing down on me. I really had a hard time trying to set boundaries for myself, and saying no and being a people pleaser. So that's what I try to do with these ladies now, and focusing on workforce development. Choose for yourself what you really want to do, and don't say things to appease me. Just do what you want to do in your heart, and just say it is what it is as well, because that's what I had to do. Say it is what it is, and say no to people. So and just focus on myself, and that's how I feel like I have gotten to a place where I'm happy and comfortable about the decisions that I make and things like that. So
I was going to ask you something. So let's back up a little bit. So what is the process like? So say, okay, so I am curious about pivot. I meet you. What is my process like with you? Do you tell me where to work at?
no.
Or do you give me options? So how does that work?
So first we what is it called? Intake. We do intake. First we do an interview. We do an interview with you. We let you know about pivot. We let you know if you're open to being vulnerable, being in a setting, sharing with a group of women, things like that. We ask you that first so that we know that you are, open for change and just being open, right, just being vulnerable, and dealing with the pain or whatever. And then the next step, we would do your intake, and that's where we get to know a little bit more information about you, as far as criminal background, schooling, um, and different impacts on your living situation, or where just your environmental, different impacts from your environment, things like
Mhm.
that. And then after that, we begin the cohort, and then we start off with doing orientation, and then we start off with that freedom with Michelle, working on that workshop and doing a what is it called? A contract. What is the contract called? Um, can y'all help me out?
The social
Yeah,
contract.
the social contract. I'm sorry. The social contract. We get a outlook from all the ladies on what we want the environment to look like, how we want to respect one another. Just basically the process of how we want that cohort or how they want to do things in that cohort. Because we ask each cohort how they want to, operate, and how everyone wants to be respected. So and then you're gonna get your 9-week course. You're gonna do your 3 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Tuesday, we're gonna start off with personal success. Wednesday is wellness. You're gonna do an activity, exercise. You're gonna get your therapy session with Nisha. And then Thursday is workforce. So we help you with every aspect from interviewing skills, resume writing, mock interviews, a whole plethora of resources. So then we also have, different events here that can be beneficial to people, like a resource fair, expungement fair. So Pivot just has a whole bunch of things added into one. So
I would listen. I'm gonna tell your supervisor you did a great job explaining all that because I wasn't even asking for the whole foundation, but you did a good job.
yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you
And
for
I want
that.
to add that too, the alumni services. Once we are done with Pivot, we're still with you. So that's that.
You did a whole commercial, baby.
I'm saying.
And I'm gonna tell your supervisor. maybe they will take you out somewhere because you did a great job just now, girl. You paid attention. You gotta keep your job.
Yes,
So that's our inside joke. All right, so Sade, I'm gonna ask you the same thing, but Well, I ain't gonna ask you the same. I'm gonna ask you the initial question. Um, because yours might end up somewhere else. So for you, if I'm wrong or right or whatever, but I just want you to expound a little bit more on what I initially asked, and that was, it sounds almost as if you are going through the journey with them versus they are you giving them tools and telling them to go ahead about their business and figure it out. It almost sounds like you are actually putting yourself in it and learning and growing with them.
Yes, that's exactly right. And it's funny because when I first came into Pivot, I had the idea I'm going to coach them. I'm just going to coach them. And like I said before, I didn't realize how much it was going to essentially coach me. Like when I'm saying things to them, I'm actually saying things to myself. And I've also had to learn how to be more vulnerable. I had to learn how to, like you said, put myself. Sometimes I have to put myself in their shoes, kind of like fit myself in their life to see how they're processing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that has helped me to, I guess, meet them equal and
Mm-hmm.
then find out what is going to help them. And for my process, it's not a process that's already spelled out. I
Mm-hmm.
actually flow from what I'm feeling. I have a baseline, but I don't like to go in it like that because one session, I may just feel like we need to address something or pivot to another, agenda that I may have had previously.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, it's like they always are getting what they need. Um, so yeah, that's all I have to say.
Okay. So I have another question for you, Sade. So as a personal success coach, does what do you think? So keep in mind, as a personal success coach, you know the resources that the women that you service, what they are in need of. If those people that have those resources were listening, what would you say to them?
Can you rephrase the question?
So let's say you have 5 ladies on your caseload. You know what they need, what they stand in need of as far as their personal goals are concerned, the resources that they may need that you may refer them to. Um, you don't have it in your pocket. You ain't got it in your desk, so do you? You might, I don't know. So I'm saying appeal to the people that have those resources because you are working with these ladies one on one. So you know what we need from community leaders, those that are in positions to aid and assist this kind of work. What would you say to them representing those ladies that you service?
That's a good question. I would say that those resources actually matter. They impact the ladies in a personal way. Um, I also feel that when they are being referred, being welcomed and um, being reliable and accessible to them is very important. Um, I believe Pivot as a whole, we make it our duty to always have open arms and treat people with respect and treat them like a regular person. Um, and yeah, so sometimes with the referrals, I would want that same embrace as well from those people, if that makes sense.
Okay. Kena, you too, as the career coach, what would you say to appeal to those that um, that has the resources to help. You're the one that help in the middle as a liaison for the women you service to those that can give jobs opportunities to these women. What would you say to those people?
Um, I would say, I don't know, like you guys say all the time, these resources are there to help these ladies to be whole, stable, and solid. And even if the ladies might not end up on whatever road they're going to, it just gives them a foot in the door to start somewhere, and to start somewhere with their own interests, or like I said, to be whole, stable, and solid, basically. That's all.
Okay, and Jessica is on point. I ain't got my glasses on, but I can see some of the things that she is texting. But she's on point. Like she sound like me almost. The last thing she said was mirror the culture. In order to mirror the culture has to go out and let people see the culture. And so one of the things that I appreciate hearing from you two is you are a reflection of the work that you do. You live it, so it's no separation. How we say my personal life and my professional life, when you're walking in your purpose, when you are only simply doing what it is that you love to do, that you desire to do. It's like second nature. It's almost like when you wake up, it all depends on how you sleep. The first thing you do, you might stretch. Some people get up and yawn real loud, make a whole bunch of noise so they can wake up. People got different things. And so I appreciate hearing the sincerity and hearing and being able to feel it, to connect with it, believing it, that I'm not just a number, I'm not just a statistic, I'm not my past. So to have women who are not afraid to say, this is my journey too. I'm learning too. And that's where the spirit of reciprocity come in at. And we oftentimes overlook that. Sade said it at the beginning. She pours out and they pour back in. But understand that what's being poured back in isn't the thing that you think you're missing. It's what you need so that you can go to the next race, so that you can go to the next task, so you can pour it into the next person. Like the work that you do is important in this community. The work, the level of commitment that you have for other women to be whole, stable, and solid is important. Because a lot of people can say it, but are you living it? Is this a reflection of who you are? Or are you just giving me a whole bunch of information? So I definitely appreciate the spirit. I appreciate the subtleness. I appreciate, the honesty that you two have brung thus far, and that it even shows, even right now in this hour, it shows your honesty, the pureness of your authenticity. It exudes. I see it. And I'm not saying it to puff you up, because I'm going to tell you the truth, honey. If you ain't got it, you ain't got it. If it ain't there, it's not there. We don't do that because you can't grow that way. You can't grow that way. But yeah, we are our greatest cheerleaders. I appreciate, that spirit that we have as a family, as a work family, as women and men who share the same vision. No one has a hidden agenda. That's how you gel, because we all know the mission. We all know the purpose of why we do what we do. And I greatly appreciate it. And so I always talk about when we get closer to the end, there's always that young woman, that woman that straddles the fence. It doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter, what you've been through, but there's always that woman that don't know what decision to make. They torn. They hear about all these good things, all these resources, all these benefits, and they're saying, all that sounds good, but what can you do with my brokenness? What can you do with the fact that right now I feel so lost? What you're saying is good. And it sounds good. And I actually believe you. But right now, what can it do for me in this brokenness? What would you say to that woman? I'm gonna start with you, Kina.
You're gonna have to deal,
Talk to
well,
me as if I was that woman.
you're gonna have to let go. You're gonna have to deal with all of the pain. That's what Pivot does. We deal with your pain. We want you to open and get that pain and let it out so that you can be able to heal from it and dig deep into yourself and be able to, you know, um, just take in, say affirmations to yourself every day, and we'll help you get to that space so where you can finally be free and be able to make your own decisions and not have any, blame, shame, or guilt with that.
But you don't understand. I've been in prison for 22 years. I don't know what to do out here. Like, everybody is telling me to do this, so do that. But where am I supposed to do this thing where I don't know where I'm gonna get my next meal at? I don't know where I'm gonna lay my head at. But you telling me to come to this place that has all these things, but I'm saying right now, what can I do right now? What's an affirmation? Tell myself that I'm cute. Tell myself that I'm beautiful. Tell myself, lie to myself because I don't feel that way.
We're going to tell yourself that you're enough and that we're going to help you get those services you need. Like I said, we need you to be stable and solid. So we're going to get you there. We're going to help you. But we need you to pour into us for us to be able to help you. We know that you've been in prison, but we're going to get you what you need and what you truly desire for yourself. So that's why we need you in this program to come and to pour into us so we can pour into you, like Shawty said. When you always ask everybody this question, I be like, this is a hard question. Like, I don't.
So why do you think this is a hard question?
Because I don't know. Because like with your responses is being adamant. Like, this person is saying like what they always say about you. I'm tired of doing everything. What can you help me to do? And I'm saying a whole bunch of stuff that sound good to you, but really I don't know. It's hard to try to pull out what I really can say to that person that feels defeated and things like that. But
So I kind of tricked you up a little bit on purpose. One, so that people can see how the dialogues can go. How that sometimes you got to know when to push, know when to stop, know when to go harder, know when to go softer. But this is the thing. Take yourself back to your own process. Take yourself back to your own process. At one point, and if I'm off, tell me that I'm off. At one point, all you wanted in a moment was to know that somebody cared. You didn't want to hear all of that. What I can do, excuse me, what I have, what you should do. It's in that moment. All I want is somebody to care. And sometimes in situations, your silence speaks more powerful than words because it's the ministry of your presence. And you yourself has that. You have it, but you just don't know it yet. You ain't tapping to that part yet because you're still growing and you're still learning, but you have that. Pay attention to yourself. When there's a lot of noise and you come around and walk through, pay attention to how the noise lessens. Sometimes it's not about the words that come out of your mouth, it's just your presence. And so keep that in mind, especially when, and even when you and I are dialoguing, or you are talking to you might be slip over to the PSC side for a second to remind someone, to encourage someone, because I think you have one of the hardest jobs psychologically. But I'm saying sometimes you may have to help one of the women that you service emotionally. And sometimes, if not all the time, a lot of us that come broken, we just want to know that somebody cares. And I'm saying that's what both of y'all exude. You care. If you didn't care, I wouldn't send nobody to you. If I didn't believe you cared. So, Sade, I'm going to ask you the same thing. Like, Keena, kind of deals with, the hands-on, the intellectual side of it, all that IT stuff and getting them computer ready, navigating, that's the stress on your brain. When you have to teach different levels, like, I commend you. I really do. I couldn't do your job and I don't want to do it. But I'm going to stand on the sidelines, honey, and I'm going to I'm going to cheerlead you on. Like, I can turn the computer on, press some buttons, send some emails. But all that stuff y'all do, I'm going to stay in my lane and just support you as I can. But I'm saying, I always want both of y'all to just remember, just remember who you are in the process, and never forget, especially Keena, where you came from and how your journey started. That's what keeps us humble. That's what keeps us at a place where so many women are receptive, because there is a level of honesty that you can't get at many places. Because, Keena, when you show up as yourself, not as a title, not as the one I'm the plug and I got the resources. You don't show up like that. You show up, I'm in this journey with you. And when you're able to stand on your foot, your 2 feet, 10 toes down, flat-footed, unmovable, here's your opportunity. The career you chose, the job you chose. That's a big deal. But anyway, so that, what would you say to me? I'm struggling. I don't even understand this thing called life, but y'all keep encouraging me to come to this pivot, to support pivot, to do. What is a pivot? I'm trying to live, but you want me to go to a program. Make it make sense to me.
So I would say to you that pivot gives you the tools to find freedom. We actually do care, and we're not going to go ahead of you, but we're going to walk with you. We care about what you're going through on your regular day life. We connect you to the resources that you need, because we're not going to just throw things at you before we understand and that you need have basic needs. You're not going to want to hear anything I got to say if you need Pampers for your kids, you need food on your table, you need lights on at your house or anything. So We help you get connected to those resources to help you with your basic needs. And we also help you get back into the workforce to start a career or whatever you want to do to better yourself. But it's not just about a job, because you have to be whole, stable, and solid at that job. You bring you everywhere that you go. And we want to target you as a person. And it is not going to be easy. Life is hard. We all go through struggles. But when you choose that you want to start a healing process to better yourself internally, everything outside will work itself out. And we at Pivot, me personally, as if I was to be your personal success coach, I will walk alongside with you. I will hold your hand, but I'm not going to walk before you. And you got to want it for yourself. And we going to help you choose, because freedom is a state of mind, and everything in your mind, everything starts from your level of thinking. So if you're thinking negative thoughts, if you have limiting beliefs, if you're stuck in old labels and expectations, to you said you went to jail. That was who you were before. Who you want to be is forward. And so we help you to stop looking backwards and look forward to who you want to be. And we give you hope. And yeah, that's what I would say. If you really want to better, if you really want to better your life, if you really want to change the situation, then and you choose and you do the work, we will be alongside with you. We will have your back.
Wow, girl, I'm gonna talk to your
That was
supervisor today. Who is your supervisor? I'm gonna talk to her today. I'm gonna get y'all
Michelle.
I'm gonna get y'all girls some lunch tomorrow. Y'all is on point. Y'all not playing with it. Listen, I appreciate the vibe. It's so settled and so laid back. I appreciate it. But y'all on point. Y'all ain't playing with me. I feel like y'all did your homework. Like y'all showed up ready for me. Surprisingly. Yeah, y'all. I'm kind of like at a loss for words. Now I feel like I need to do Pivot all over again. So they didn't leave it out. Made me feel like I need to go back in it. She just sold it to me.
Well, we doing interviews on Friday, girl. Friday interviews.
So let's talk about that. Are you all? I'm like all you all. Like I ain't a part of it, right? That's my hosting side. So, are y'all doing interviews, or if not, when?
You said, are we doing interviews?
Yeah, when are y'all in the process of doing interviews? How often do y'all do interviews? If y'all are doing interviews, how can people get an interview?
We actually are starting interviews. We started last week. We have upcoming interviews this Friday. People can get an interview by, us doing outreach. That's one thing. Getting people to sign up, going out on the streets, telling people about the information, social media, other partnerships that we have some of our information posted in their buildings, things like that. Yeah, do you have any other?
As well.
Yeah, website. Do you have
The
any other?
application is on our website, Pivot Program, Pivot Baltimore.
Pivot
So
program.
so can people reach you all to get connected to
Yes.
So what is your Keena, how can people contact you? Just verbally say it.
My email at Keena@pivotprogram.org.
And Sade, how can people reach you?
Also, my email at Sharda, SHARDA, at pivotprogram.org, and my phone number as well, 443-687-5698.
Same thing, yeah.
Okay, I appreciate it. You never know who is listening. You never know who's watching. You never know who will listen. You never know who will later tune in. And so you always want to, because when women are speaking, remember, who appeals to me might not appeal to you. So you always want to leave something for someone who listened to you and they were inspired. And plus, I think it's always good, to hear that every now and then, because this is not a easy, I don't want to say job. It's not an easy movement. It's not. It has its growing pains. It's not easy. We are passionate about what we do. We love what we do. We enjoy what we do. But it also has its growing pains. Um, and that's just being transparent. So it's always good every now and then for at least one to say thank you. To say, what you said touched me. If we be honest, it soothes our heart, those achy parts when you feel like you're not doing enough, when you feel like you didn't say enough, or you feel like you said the wrong thing. It's those moments that kind of help you fight those kind of thoughts off. So a heart of gratitude is something that I definitely possess, and I do promote, because um, grateful people do grateful things. And so I want to forever be grateful for any opportunity that I have. Again, I appreciate y'all for grinding, because y'all been out all day working. And so I appreciate Keena's always the last one to leave. We definitely appreciate your loyalty and your commitment to the pivot experience. Um, so I'm just going to reiterate again that Pivot is a 9-week workforce development program. We meet on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 10 to 2. If you have any woman that you know, whether it be a friend, a aunt, a cousin, any woman who has been impacted by the criminal justice system, the website is up, www.pivotprogram.org. And or you can call by phone any number that you've seen put up that's going across the little screen. Contact us, reach out. We will personally send you the link to pass on, or even if it's for yourself. We don't take this work lightly. In the city of Baltimore, we recognize that we have to be a part of the village for somebody. And so that's all we are doing. We are showing up to be whatever part of the village, whatever end of the spectrum we belong on, that's the lane we want to be in. And so we service those women who have been impacted by the criminal justice system. Again, if you know any woman, send them our way for this experience, because it definitely is a life changing experience. We are holding interviews now. And so I would not sit on this information. I would pass it on, because interviews don't last. The process does not. It has a start date and an end date, because we have to move on and prepare for the next cohort once this cohort changes. So before we leave, we have a couple more minutes left. Is there anything that you want to say, that you want the people to know about you? Anything before we leave? We have a couple more minutes.
Um, I just want to say something really quick. Um, for me, I'm just grateful for being in this position. I always say it. I'm grateful for being in this position. Working with Pivot. Like this is not a job for me. This is my lifestyle. I don't feel like I'm at work. This is what I do every day. I live in it. I feel it, and every day I learn and grow every day again. So I'm just grateful to, be in this experience and to be able to be here and be able to help other ladies that when I was in the same position. And I just want to say thank you to, Pivot, everyone on the team, just being, consistent with me, investing in me, investing in my growth. So, and the only thing I can do further is get better and, grow from this even more. So,
That's
thank you.
right. That's right.
I agree with Keena. This has been a great experience working with Pivot, just being able to serve the ladies. Just, it's a unique experience. Like, we are not your typical office environment. We are family. I am grateful for just having the opportunity to grow. Like, I don't know. I've grown so much just by working for Pivot, and been pushed out of my comfort zone a lot in a lot of areas, which is why I can then push the other ladies to come out of their comfort zone. So it's just been an all around great experience. And I'm thankful for everyone who tuned in, everyone showing love in the comments. We appreciate everybody.
Yeah, we do. And just as I said at the beginning, um, and even when we first started this pivoting through reentry, this is for whoever is receptive. As I always share, it takes a lot to service one woman. To them, it's free, but to some, it costs. And it costs on many levels. It's not always about financing. Sometimes it's just about providing space for a woman. Sometimes it's about opening in your business to give an opportunity to a woman who feels slighted because of her background. Sometimes it's just about picking up the phone and saying, how can we support you? And so for me, speaking on behalf of Pivot in the city of Baltimore, if you are whole, stable, and solid, and you can create and or you can give an opportunity to a woman who is in need, I challenge you to do so. Because at some point, we are at one time or will be affected by a loved one being incarcerated. We understand that when you come home to nothing. I don't care what you had. Coming out, you need support. And no one organization can do it alone. It takes the village. So we appreciate our employee partners that we have that extend themselves to us and give these opportunities for these women. We appreciate our referral partners for doing the same, opening up their visions and twerking their missions to fit us in, to service, to better service the women that are in this kind of situation. We definitely appreciate it. It does not go unnoticed because we recognize that it takes a village. It takes the village to service one woman, to make sure that woman has the needs and the resources to help her move forward in her journey so that she could become healthy. So now she's not looking at her past as something that has destroyed her, but she's looking at her past as a ring of reference that helped build her, if that makes sense. And so we definitely appreciate every door, every opportunity that everyone has extended thus far. But those that are still wondering, those that are still contemplating on what to do, how can you support? Should I support? Is it just another program? No, it's not. We are an experience. We are an experience. And sometimes not everybody make it through the whole experience. But guess what? We still leave the door open because someday you'll be ready. And we'll be right here. If it ain't us, it will be the people we cultivated to take our chairs. Because that's how we function. So again, I appreciate you two beautiful ladies for putting up with me for this extra hour. I thank you for the grind. I thank you for the vibe. I definitely appreciate y'all so much. Y'all don't understand. Y'all definitely keep me right. When I don't want to smile, I gotta smile because it's contagious. Kena always smiling at me, always laughing. You know, I want to look stern. I'm the hard one, but you can't. Sade keeps me soft. I can't be so hard and stern all the time. So y'all balance me. You know what I mean? And I think that we give that. And he is so handsome.
Thank
I'm gonna
you.
give you a t-shirt. I'm gonna give you a joke.
He keep
I'm
coming
gonna
to
give
ask
you
me am I
something to
finished.
me. But I missed you today. You're not gonna speak?
Say hi.
Hi. What you guys say to the people? I love it. I love it. I love it. And so yeah, again, that's a wrap. If y'all don't have anything else to say, then I'm good. It is well with my soul. I definitely appreciate y'all because I didn't know how I was gonna pull this off, but y'all came through. The two shyest people that I know,
And
y'all
we
said a
talked
lot.
about that, Sade.
So I'm definitely gonna talk to y'all supervisors and let them know y'all deserve lunch, baby. Y'all deserve a big lunch because y'all did that. The two quietest people had a lot to say today. Who'd have thought? But I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I appreciate it. I will not be in tomorrow, but I will check on y'all tomorrow. Have much to do, much to do. But I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. To the rest of the team, let's shout them out. Let's shout the team out. Come on, popcorn style, like we in class. Come on.
Oh,
Yeah.
Michelle.
Hey, Michelle and V and Brittany,
Me and Keosha and Nisha
Keosha,
and Aunt.
Anthony,
Yeah.
Nisha.
Yeah, we're vibe. I appreciate the whole team. As I always say, we hold each other accountable, but more importantly, we lift each other up in love, in unconditional love, which means whether I'm up, whether I'm down, you're going to love me unconditionally, but you're going to hold me accountable. Who would not want to work with a group of people like that, that I can laugh with, that I can cry with, that I can journey alongside with, that I can learn from, that I can grow with? It's just a vibe, and I definitely appreciate it. It makes this struggle so much. It makes it easy. It makes it easy. It takes off the intensity. I sleep better at night because I know that I ain't the only one. And I know that if I can't today, somebody will fill in with no questions asked. I love it. I love the energy. I love you, women. I appreciate you. And man, the little man, I don't know where he went at.
We appreciate you. Thanks for
Yes,
having
thank
us
you.
here.
Yeah. And we will talk more. I will fill y'all in on the next thing, but I have an interview. I'm being interviewed. Picture that.
Okay.
Aw.
I'm being interviewed after this, so I gotta kind of, regroup and get it together. But I definitely love y'all. Everyone today that was listening, those that will be listening, those that are watching, those that will be watching. As I always say, if we are not pushing forward, we are moving backwards. Say it out loud. Forward ever, backwards never. Go tell a friend to tell a friend about the Pivot Workforce Development Program in Baltimore City. We are your plug. Go tell a friend to tell a friend that knows a friend about who we are and what we offer, and we will show up and do what we have to do. In the meantime, between time, see you next time.
Good night. Thank you.
Bye.
See you, handsome.
Say bye-bye. Say good night.
Good night.
All right, let me see. Oh, did we just
So
exit
how
out
do
of
I
it?
just Yeah,
Oh,
do I
this is
just exit?
okay.
So this is the bloopers. I like this part, the behind the scene parts. I wish I love the bloopers. So one thing about me, I always stay on
Mm-hmm.
to the very end. I don't know. I'm like that with TV, with that everything, because you oftentimes miss. Like one time I was watching something.